Well, today I'm out here with Fabio. We're out at Tsugawa Nursery up in Woodland. And Fabio, we're talking bonsai.
Yes.
So what is a bonsai?
Bonsai is a tree that that lives in a pot, in a container, in a tray, or in a pot.
Okay. And is it, characteristic with a certain shape or type of tree, or?
No, it doesn't have a shape for itself. The shape is created by us. It's a living sculpture.
Okay. Now there's, you see lots of different types of bonsai around, different types of plants. So there are certain plants that do better than others for
yes,
bonsai?
You look for woody species. You don't want to develop something that doesn't develop woody, like tree, truly.
Okay.
Tree or bushes are the best species for bonsai.
Right.
And we look for plants that don't have long, big, huge leaves, usually small leaves like conifer, or some deciduous too, or even tropicals, but not big leaf plants.
You hear a lot of dwarf plants. Does it necessarily have to be a dwarf plant to be a bonsai?
It's the opposite. You want plants that are not dwarf.
Okay.
If they're dwarf, they're gonna grow too slow. Actually, we dwarf them. They're not dwarf because they are dwarf species. Bonsai is the opposite. You dwarf them. It's like a haircut.
Okay.
You make it the size that you want.
Because if it's truly dwarf, then you're not doing anything.
Exactly.
And that's where you're going to accentuate and get this different
exactly.
shape.
You wanna get a huge species like a ponderosa pine or a Douglas fir or a sequoia, and you wanna dwarf it. That's the beauty of it.
Okay. Now, is there certain things when you're going to pick out a tree or shrub that you're going to bonsai? Do you want to look for certain characteristics as far as its trunk or its shape, or are you pretty much creating everything from scratch?
You can develop bonsai from seedling. You can develop bonsai from a nursery stock. You can develop bonsai by finding a dwarf tree out in the nature if you have the permit to get it. In some states it's permitted. What you look for is some characteristics of being dwarf already.
Okay.
But if you don't have this, you totally create this from initial state, even from a seed, you develop a dwarf tree.
So then, once you have a plant, picked out that you're going to use, what kind of tools or what do you need to use to turn that into a bonsai?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple different tools here.
Yes, we have some specific tools in the bonsai world. We have this plier.
Okay.
That's also it's a concave cut. So when you cut a branch, the callus that it comes later you don't have that little that bump, that kind of swallow tissue that's gonna look ugly. So this is a very specific tool made for the world of bonsai. That's a specific scissor too, also known as ikebana scissor. It's used for roots and for branches too. But what you really need this is after you're really transforming trees, you're really dwarfing trees.
Okay.
One thing is to create a bonsai, to dwarf a tree. The other thing is just to maintain a tree. You buy a bonsai, done bonsai or not, and you just maintain it alive.
Right, because you have a great selection out here of lots of little starters that people can purchase.
Yes.
On up to some smaller size pots, on up to the finished product. Now you have these are the same plant. Time-wise, how much time has gone by between something like this size to that size?
Exactly. Actually, you can have some very old trees, very small. The difference here is the standard of sizes, that we have several standards of size. But this is a good example because this is truly a younger bonsai, and this is a much older bonsai. So it's the same species, and it might be, person might come and find, oh, this is too expensive, but it's not that it's expensive. It took decades and decades to create this. But sometimes you have a smaller one that took a long time. If you allow it to receive the correct amount of sun, and if you give it the right amount of water, it can be alive for many, many years. And then the other techniques, if you wanted to develop, if you want to learn how to prune and maintain, and this, you have years to learn.
Gotcha. And so, so people can come up here to the nursery. You have obviously a wealth of knowledge and a knowledgeable staff.
Thank
you. You have all of the, the materials and supplies that somebody would need from the beginner on up to the expert. So you can come up to the nursery for all this information. You guys do classes.
Yes.
There are some protocols now as far as we're wearing masks.
Exactly.
And and that's changing all the time.
Yes, and the classes will be back as soon as we can. For now, we're waiting on being responsible. But I think that people should take advantage of we have such a great climate in the Northwest. People all over the United States are coming to this area because it's the best place in the United States to do bonsai. And the ones who are interested in, they should take advantage of living in the Northwest. For bonsai, it's just fantastic.
So you can come up here to Tsugawa Nursery and get all the supplies, a wealth of knowledge and information. Make sure you check out either their Facebook page or their website for their most recent protocols that seem to be changing all the time. So go to gardentime.tv and we can click you over to their page. So it's been a pleasure being out here talking with you and learning all about bonsai.
Thank you very much.